All right, Northwoods Cardboard Gang, today we are going to be talking about some Pokemon investment, and this time it's coming from the comments, so we'll get into it right after this. Alright guys, I'm Eddie with Northwoods TCG, and thank you for joining me today. Of course, today we're going to go over some Pokemon investment, but today's going to be more of a discussion, and we're going to have a discussion about a comment that came up, and this comment had so much in it. It's actually a really great comment, and thank you for that. I mean, you've been a subscriber now for 6 days. This comment came from you about a day ago, and to me, these are the comments that I really do enjoy. Once again, this isn't malice. I'm not anything against you. Once again, we can all have our own point of view when it comes down to these things. Once again, I do think this is a very good comment, and it's really loaded, and it is really good for a discussionary point when it comes down to Pokemon investment and how you should be working with your Pokemon sealed investment, and also talking about your Pokemon raw and graded investments. It's a really good point of view when it comes down to it, kind of a little bit outside view compared to an optimist when it comes down to this market. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just read this question. I'll read it down here off the computer screen next to me, and then we'll go through it because he actually gave me 2 parts. So we'll go through the first part and then we'll hit the second part when it comes down to Pokemon investment. So the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be coming from @ForeverAwesome92. Thanks again for subscribing to the channel and definitely putting up this comment. He put up here, people in today, I'm going to kind of blur out some things just because it was a little bit different language. It shouldn't be on the channel. I don't really try to speak in this kind of, balanced languages in case kids watch this. Of course, there's always the opportunity. So here it goes. People in Pokemon today keeps talking good investment for the next year, but also 5, 10, 20, 30 years. You should STFU about that because you have no idea how long that is. If you are such a guru in long-term investment, then why aren't you a trillionaire? Just say that you like cards and products instead of this investment BS people are doing. So, like I said, it's a really action-packed comment overall, and I do like this kind of discussion because she does have a good point. We do say things are good investments. Now, to me, when we talk about Pokemon investments, good investments should have longevity to them, correct? So when we say that it's going to be good in a year, so for example, the video that he picked was going to be the top 10 seal investments from 2022. So of course there was one of the then the second comment's going to come up with the Charizard box. Perfect example, right? That box was printed a lot. There's a ton of this particular product. Now, do I think that that was a good investment if you had purchased it back in 2022 at like $70 to $80? Yeah, I was in it for $120, so when I could get it for $70 to $80. That's a steal of a deal. That just makes it that much sweeter for me, and I did pick up more of them at that price. Now, do I think that would be a good investment in 1 year? Well, in 1 year, we're already up to $100. So if you had jumped in on that investment at the end of 2022, at this point, you're already up $20 on your investment. If it continues by the end of the year, I could see this product maybe making MSRP. So we might be seeing it at about $120. So as a 1 year investment overall, it did really well. If you bought that at $70 to $80, you're already seeing a $20 to $30 turnaround on your investment. It's going in the right direction. Granted, there was a lot of it out there, and it took a lot for the market to absorb that. And that's the beauty of some of these items is in the current market is that they do get absorbed rather well. So when you're looking at your Pokemon investment, especially in sealed, there are some great opportunities for the market to absorb those particular products. It takes time sometimes. And that's one thing that's changed in this market over the last 3 years is we've gone from a point where you couldn't find sealed product and sealed product was a myth to now sealed product comes out and it's acting more like 2019 where we're seeing that slow absorption of that product back in. And it takes a little bit of time for it to get value, which is fine. Not having value in the first year of a Pokemon product is not a bad thing. Now, that's where it goes down to longevity. We talk 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. Overall, that's what we want to see when it comes down to a Pokemon investment, right? If you want to hold this for 5 years, there's an investment opportunity. If you want to go 10 years, 20, 30, there's always an opportunity for it to grow. And that's the biggest part when it comes down to a Pokemon investment. If you're looking at something, that's not necessarily going to gain a lot of money in the first year, but in 5 years, we can maybe look at these particular products again in 5 years down the road and say, see, these did really well. See, overall, we did a 15 to 20% gain per year on these products, and they've done really well, and we've seen some really good turnaround on those particular products. So once again, this is some really good ways to look at that, and I just want to counter this that yes, we don't know. I mean, granted, it's just like any kind of investment risk. It's just like buying into the stock market. It's like buying into crypto. It's like buying property. You don't know how long the market will hold its value and how long it'll take for you to actually see returns on those particular products. Doesn't matter what investment you do. Overall, there is going to be that opportunity for the market to stagnate. There's an opportunity for that market to fall. There's that opportunity for that market to crash. So overall, no matter what market you go into, it's an even field when it comes down to the risk assessments of these particular products. And that's what we try and do with Pokemon Investment, is really look at the risk assessment of these particular products and try and choose products that are a little bit lower risk with possibly some really good consistent returns when it comes down to overall 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20, 30 years down the road, just as we were trying to find. That's what we're looking for at these products. Now, next part he's going to be talking to is, why aren't you a trillionaire? Granted, nobody's a trillionaire in the world. Even the best investment masterminds in the world are not trillionaires. Number one reason is because nobody really has enough money to keep reinvesting to try and get to that number. It's an astronomical number. Second of all, I know you were being really, really facetious on that, but when it comes to overall investment, I don't invest solely in Pokemon. I don't believe that Pokemon is the best investment out there in the world. I keep my standard investment portfolios. I do my standard Roth IRA. I put my max amount of money into it every single year that I can. From the business side of things, I am continually reinvesting into my business. I'm growing multiple businesses on multiple fronts. I'm growing a Pokemon business. I'm growing a farming business. I'm growing an HVAC business. And there's always that tandem of trying to continue to keep each one moving in a specific way. Now, am I a trillionaire? No. Am I a billionaire? No. Am I a multimillionaire by assets? Yeah, I probably am. Well over a couple million, just because of my property assets, my building assets, my business assets. I mean, my Pokemon assets. You can go through my 401k Roth IRA. Yeah, I'm probably a couple $1 million up, probably close to 3, maybe 3.5. But that's not something that's been important to me on this channel. I mean, to me, I'm a guy that loves t-shirts and blue jeans. I love to relax. I love to have fun. I love to drink beer, and I like to have fun with friends and just do stupid things sometimes. That's just my persona being out in the middle of the country. I never want to brag about my income, and that's just something that I've never brought up on this channel, is how rich or prosperous I am. When it comes to northern Wisconsin, my family has been very prosperous. We've all been business-minded, and we've all accelerated at different businesses, and we continue to understand how to use the dynamics of business to create better business. And that's what we've always done. Our reputation is that we create business based on quality and being sure that we do customer service to the fullest. So overall, am I a trillionaire? No. Am I a billionaire? No. Am I a millionaire? Technically by assets, yes. Cash-wise, no. I mean, I keep $10,000 of cash always free to be able to do things, and for emergency fund, but realistically, that's about all that I have in cash. Everything else is just assets. Last part is do I enjoy, just say that you like the card product instead of investing in, I love the cards. I love the product. As you can see, I invest into cards in my collection. The collection is probably never going to go anywhere. My Flareon collection, the only thing I'm going to do is upgrade with it slowly. And yes, I do enjoy Pokemon in general. I've said it before, and I know a lot of these other channels that talk about investing and talk about the markets and talk about proper ways to do things and be safe in this market. We all love Pokemon. That's what we try and do, but we try and take our Pokemon, our investment side of the Pokemon, and feed our collection side of the Pokemon. That's the biggest part of, even for myself, is that I try not to take money out of my other businesses, out of my family life, and put it into Pokemon. I try and make Pokemon self-sustainable, and that's been the goal for this year. Thus far, so good. I've made Pokemon its own little circle, and I've kept everything contained into it. Everything I've made has gone back and reinvested back into the business, but I haven't been pulling money from my family above to try and make it better. And that's the biggest thing is when it comes down to the investment side, is it becomes self-sustainable. Whether it's the flipping, whether it's getting graded cards and trying to take singles and raws and make them graded and increase their value, that's definitely been a big thing that's been coming forward, and it's been a work in progress. Selling bulk, doing those kind of things. I just went through all my binders. You can see I've been going through my personal collection binders and make sure that the cards in there are what I want, and I do love every one of those cards in that binder. None of them are for sale. They're mine. I love them. They're going to stay on my shelf, and yes, and at the end of the day, by heart, I am 100% a collector. The other part of it is too is I want to make my collection pay for itself. I want to build a fantastic collection, but I want to do it using the hobby to do so, not outside money to pull it off. So yes, I am a collector through and through overall, but I use the investment side to be able to gain and get more income to put towards my collection without detrimenting my family. again, great discussion piece. Like I said, it took a little bit to talk about that. Trying to type that all out is crazy, but it's really good talking when it comes down to the overall Pokemon investments and how you can look at them and actually understand where I'm coming from and where we are at Pokemon investing. And most of the channels that I know of and that I associate with all kind of have this common mentality when it comes down to it. Even in Choose Your Path series, if you want to watch that and check it out, definitely do that, because there is actually the discussions between all the different groups on how we are using the hobby to fuel our collections and fuel our love for this actual particular hobby. And that's what we do. And that's what the purpose of this is. Now, the next part of it is that he's got a second question, or a second statement that he put on here, which is going to be as follows. What if the Charizard box never goes up? Every GD grown-up kid today buys it for an investment. So there is tons of people that buy the Charizard box expecting massive profit, and then what happens usually is it never goes up and gets forgotten. Maybe it goes up in 30 years. Then people can sell that BS for $200 US. Woohoo! How crazy that would be. So overall, once again, that's where we talk about the Pokemon investing scheme. And when you actually look at specific things in Pokemon, he was specifically talking about the Charizard box in here. That's where we talk about trying to mitigate that risk. Now, there are certain products I 100% agree. I don't see any value in them, and I don't see them doing extremely well even 5 years down the road. They're going to be very slow. And a perfect example of that, of course, is like Pokeballs. I just don't see the overall value inside of them and what's going to be the real chase to bring people in to purchase that. Now, a Charizard box to me is a perfectly different aspect when it comes down to it. That's a fan favorite Pokemon overall. And, the one thing that I say is that it's not going to be a huge gainer when we're in this hobby in the first 2-3 years here. Overall, what you're really looking for with that kind of product and that specific product, and why I think it will be a good investment overall for a Pokemon Seal investment, is going to be the overall new people coming into the hobby. We are making a bet, a wager, that Pokemon is going to be continuing to be successful. We want Pokemon to be successful. We need it to be successful. And if it's successful, we will see new people coming in for Charizard, and that Charizard box will be selling to them. Am I going to be going out and buying more Charizard boxes? No. I have 10 of them. Why would I go out and buy more of them? It wouldn't make any sense. I'm happy with my position. I've got enough of them to where I'm happy with my position. My cost dollar averaging worked out. I bought 2 of them for investment for $120, and I bought the rest of them down at around $70 and $80, $75, right in that range for the remainder of them. So overall, my cost dollar averaging comes out to like $84 a box. So right now, I'm happy. I'm good where I'm at. I'm not going to be looking for more of these. And that's how a lot of people right now are going to be looking at this particular product. There's plenty of it out there. So there's no reason to sit there and think that we're going to buy more of them. That's not what we're shooting for. What you're shooting for is in the future, you're looking at people that are collectors looking into this market, even collectors now that maybe are just starting and getting into it. You're going to be looking at them to be your investment outlet. You're not going to be selling to other investors unless these products really take off. Potentially some of the packs in there could become very, very valuable. There are Evolving Skies packs inside of there. There are Brilliant Stars packs inside of there, all of which have great opportunities to be very, very valuable in the future. But we'll see how that all plays out. Overall, I'm looking at the actual sealed product itself. When it comes down to that Pokemon investment sealed product, I want to see that particular product actually have interest in the future. And that's why you see me talk a lot about different products and why I don't collect these and why I do, why I specifically think that this product is going to do well. And a perfect example is even this box, I'm pulling out, is going to be this one, the Pikachu Zegrom box. I think this box will do extremely well in the future if you can keep it sealed and keep it in good shape. Why do I think that? Because overall, Pikachu has always been a hot character in the Pokemon TCG. He continues to draw fan favorites. It's just like Charizard and Reshiram box. I've got a couple of those. Once again, I think Charizard and Reshiram both have very good followings in the Pokemon TCG, and there's potentially some great value in those particular cards and in that product. Once again, that's what we look at for sealed products. It's not that every sealed product is going to be successful. Every Pokemon sealed product is not going to gain value right off the bat. Every Pokemon sealed investment is not going to have a great fan following unless we have another explosion in a hobby like we did in 2020, in which you hope a whole new group of people come in and then everything shoots up in value like it did in 2020. That is not my expectations. That's not what I try and preach in this channel. What I try and preach on this channel and always have is that you need to follow the trends, what people like, follow what people have interest in when it comes down to Pokemon, such as Gengar behind me, Pikachu, Charizard. Fan favorite Pokemon are always good anchors. Lugia, another perfect example of fan favorite Pokemon. Those are what are going to drive your Pokemon sealed investment in that upward direction. It's the same for singles. It's the same for raws. All those things are going to see value if they are fan favorite Pokemon. We can even see it on the Master Balls, the Master Ball reverse hollows in 151 right now, Pokemon 151 in Japan. We got those Master Ball hollows coming out, and specific ones, of course, Gengar, Pikachu, those specific cards are shooting up in value around 100 plus on the actual value, while some of the not so fan favorite Pokemon that they put them on also are sitting at around $10, $7, $20. And that's just the fact that because fan favorite Pokemon can drive a market a lot more. That's why when I talk about booster boxes and ETBs, a lot of times fan favorite Pokemon will drive product in the future. And that's what you need to be looking at is when you're looking at products, even like battle styles. Why I say battle styles, probably never going to be a super hype set is because there really aren't very many strong fan favorite Pokemon. There's Tyranitar. I'll give you that. There's Tyranitar in it. But if you're going to be buying that product, you're going to be more banking on the fact that Urshifu is going to become a super fan favorite Pokemon in 5 to 10 years. And do you see that happening? Same with Chilling Reign if you were going to go buy the actual products. Is the Calyrex, Ice Rider, and Shadow Rider going to become super popular Pokemon in 5 to 10 years? Probably not, right? So overall, those sets may have some issues. The only thing Chilling Reign has over Battle Styles is the fact that Chilling Reign, I love it more as an investment, as a holding investment, because of the fact that it has so many different fan favorite Pokemon that are actually an alternate art form in there, such as the Rapidash inside of there. Great alternate art inside of that particular set. So there's a ton of them. There's a ton of different opportunities in that particular set with alternate arts that drive that forward. Same with Evolving Skies. Why is Evolving Skies a great sealed Pokemon investment? It's because of the fact that it's full of evolutions, it's full of dragons, and there is a lot of offering inside of that particular set in the English market that drives it forward. So that's what we look at when we're talking about Pokemon investment. Is the Charizard box never going to go up? It already has. I mean, if we go back from the time when that video was actually posted back in December to today, it was about $75. I was picking them up at $70 to $75, a lot of them. And when that's being said, we're already at $100. So we've already gone up that much money already on these concurrent boxes. I've already made $30 to $25 on them boxes with literally just sitting them on my shelf for the last 7 months. So granted, it's not a huge gain. It's not like I'm saying I'm making huge gains and oh my gosh, goodness, I got trillions of dollars sitting here. No, it's just moderate, slow, progressive gains, and where we're actually seeing the market continue to eat up supply. It's getting demand for certain products, and if reprints don't occur of certain products, then that demand will cause price to rise, and that's what we're definitely looking for when it comes down to a lot of these products. So once again, thank you, at Forever Awesome 92. Great little comments there, and like I said, I didn't want to try and type it out because a lot of times when you try and talk about this and put these long messages on here, like I've said before, you can almost, people don't hear your voice and see what I'm actually telling you and how I'm actually explaining it. And they could take it in a negative way. And I don't want negativity on this channel. This channel has always been kind of built on positivity, and I want to help people move forward in this channel and move into the Pokemon hobby and be successful and see different ways to be successful in this hobby and how other people are being successful. So once again, that's the biggest thing when it comes down to Pokemon investing is be patient. Once again, that's the biggest thing I've been preaching. Timing, we got to learn timing better on the things as we move forward. And then also there is opportunities in this market. Not every product in Pokemon is going to explode. Granted, we've seen pretty much every product go up in price, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're all good investments. Like you said, if the Charizard box only went to $200 in 30 years, it really wouldn't have been a good investment. But so far, we're already seeing better gains than that in the trajectory it's going. So, like I said, in maybe 5 years, I could see it getting close to that $200, $180, $200. I don't think that that's out of the question if it continues to be eaten up by this market. The promo cards now are starting to go up in value, which means if they continue to move up in value, there's a reason to open that box again. So these are all things that we continually watch when it comes down to the Pokemon market. And when we're looking at Pokemon sealed investments and even into singles and graded. I mean, they're all things that we need to watch and look for when it comes down to investments. So once again, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for the comment. Like I said, it's great. I didn't want to come across as negative, so I definitely wanted to do this in the video form. And you gave me a great discussionary point, a great overall encompassing discussion point to really talk about myself and talk about the Pokemon investment, what you should be looking for and what you want to be looking for when it comes down to your overall Pokemon sealed investments in the hobby. So once again, thank you for that. If you do like this kind of content, as always, and you made it this far in the video, be sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and last but not least, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated if you could do that. Help this video right along. Last but not least, before I forget, Unified Minds, we do have the link down below for the box break coming up in August here. I believe it's August 11th. I'm trying to remember. I've been on a road trip, so it's been a little bit foggy on where the dates are. So yeah, if you're interested in doing that, definitely go down below and hit the description and jump in on that. Last but not least, if you do like this kind of content, as always, check out the 2 at the end of the video. And we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.